Hey people, welcome to TwoSplit. Today we are looking at the Surface Pro 7, one of the best two-in-one experiences in my opinion. I say so because Microsoft has made a device that is able to perform as a tablet, but also a fully fledged computer. And that second part is where most other tablets fail. I mean, they do well as tablets, but most of the time they will run mobile apps, not full-fledged. This is a Windows 10 device. It will run like a regular desktop computer. You will install regular desktop apps. And I think that's where Microsoft begins to truly shine in terms of this form factor. It hasn't changed a lot over the years if you're familiar with the Surface lineup. Just minor tweaks with each iteration, especially around performance, but nothing to the main form factor. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's look at what makes this thing what makes it the Surface Pro. So like I said, the form factor hasn't really changed much from the Surface Pro 6. In fact, from the previous Surface Pros, even before that. So if you're familiar with the Surface Pro lineup, this isn't going to be very fresh to you. Just a little bit of the power button. But if you're not, then just hang in there and let me walk you right through it, alright? So this thing is a 12.3-inch device. It was a Pixel Sense display. It is not OLED like you would find in very new Ultrabooks, but the Pixel Sense does really well in terms of resolution. It works fine. I think it's 267 ppi. It gets up to 400 nits in terms of brightness, so that's pretty decent brightness for your use. It has a 3x2 form factor, so it holds like a notebook, especially when you need to write on this thing. It is comfortable. It's about 1.7 pounds. That's about 0.5 pounds heavier than the iPad Pro 11, but not too heavy that it becomes uncomfortable. In my opinion, again, this feels, it hits the sweet spot. It's just right, it's comfortable to hold as a tablet. It's not ridiculous. It feels good. What else is on here? The typical, there's a volume rocker, a power button at the top, a headphone jack, 3.5mm, thank God. There is a USB-A for legacy devices, and a very welcome, what is new on the series is the USB-C. Now it's not Thunderbolt 3, but it is a universal USB-C, so you can connect an external monitor to this, and you can power this device if you have a charger that, on the go. Some power banks could even charge this thing, so you're not stuck to the magnetic charger that Microsoft provides with this thing, which is still here, by the way. So also here is a front-facing camera with Windows Hello. Windows Hello works really well even in the dark, so you can just log in immediately. Like I said, it works really well. I've tried it over and over. And there's a camera on the back in case you need to take a picture or something and stick it in OneNote and send it to someone. Not like I do that a lot, but in case you need to do that, that camera's there. There are two far-field microphones which have improved reception of how it picks up your voice in case you're doing teleconferencing or Skyping or whatever. That works really well. What else is here? Oh yeah, so the expansion, the hard drive on this thing is soldered onto the motherboard. So it's going to be really hard if you want to make upgrades in terms of space. And they know that, which is a downside in my opinion. But they did give you, under this amazing kickstand, which we'll get to in a second, an expansion slot for a micro SD card. So that allows, at least that gives you a bit more space. But back to that kickstand I was talking about. This kickstand, it pulls out like so, and it takes the tablet almost to a flat surface. So if you're writing or drawing on this thing, excuse me, this tablet is perfect in this form factor. This does this well. Again, a lot of tablets try to do this, but they can't do this well without extra peripherals, but this does this naturally. This hinging mechanism works great, almost to a flat, and it's really sturdy at any angle you set it at.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk.
Yeah.
I need your permission to help.
Yeah, I'm gonna, maybe later. Okay, I got it. She has a problem with the way I talk. Interesting. So that folds back in here. And that will do, like I said, not much different from the previous generations other than the addition of the USB-C port. Yeah, that's really it. So it doesn't typically look like this. I put a skin on mine because I like putting a skin on mine because I'm paranoid someone's going to scratch it or something. So if you really want to protect yours, put a skin or get a total case over it. Yeah, that's it for the form factor. So let's look inside the device. Well, I mean, what's running this baby? Okay, for the internals, we have a 10th generation Intel processor. The model we have here is a Core i5. It has Bluetooth 5.0, it has Iris Plus graphics, in case you want to do some light gaming, not too heavy gaming, I'll show you some on the screen. It has DDR4 RAM, which is an upgrade from the previous generation that had DDR3. And the Surface Charge now does rapid charging, which can take you from 0 to 80% in under an hour. And just for reference on the performance, the Core i5 on this Surface Pro 7 benchmarks higher than the Core i7 on the Pro 6. So in terms of performance, that's really good, really good. So light gaming and all, a lot of 2D platformers, this works smoothly. But if you want some high intense gaming, it will work, but you may have to dumb down some of your graphics and resolution for it to run, but they won't look fantastic. But it can do it. Like I said, it is a full-fledged computer, so there are limits to which you can push this thing to. But let's talk about the downsides. The first downside is everything I mentioned earlier, the design. It hasn't changed much over the last almost six iterations of this device. Microsoft did launch the Surface Pro X with way thinner bezels at the sides. I think that design could have easily bled onto this, but they claim that has a special ARM processor. This still has the generic 10th gen Intel processor. It said it wouldn't fit, heat thermals, etc., etc. But that's what we're hoping to see, because in 2019 going into 2020, smaller bezels is the ish, you know, exactly. And then Thunderbolt 3, of course we want Thunderbolt 3, that's also a downside. Also peripherals. This thing still mostly doesn't ship with the peripherals that give you that full computer experience. So a type cover, for example. The type cover is what you need to get that full computer experience. And this type cover is amazing. You know, it pretty much just connects itself and also acts as a protection for the screen, but also gives you that full keyboard experience. And the keyboard on this type cover is amazing. It has excellent travel. It is backlit. It pretty much attaches itself. It just works. It works great. It's one of the best keyboards I've tried on a tablet to date. What else? Then the Surface Pen. You're gonna need the pen to get a full, you know, if you want to take annotations. By the time you add on those two peripherals, that's another $200 plus onto the base. So the base model of the thing comes in at about $749 for a Core i3, and you can easily get as far as $2,000 depending on the configuration of SSD and the processor in here. So you have to make that call. Do I want to buy this for the form factor and performance, or do I just want performance and forget form factor or something convenient? This works for me because depending on when I want to take notes or how I want to flip, this type cover is also smart enough to know when it's in type cover mode. So if you flip it, it recognizes, and palm rejection works, so there's no input when your arm is on the screen. Like I said, they've just been refining this device year on year, and it keeps getting better. Of course, next year we expect to see smaller bezels, yada yada, blah blah. But that's what I think about the Surface Pro 7. I still think, again, overall, it's still one of the best 2-in-1 experiences to date. I think a lot of people would want to recreate this. I think Dell did a 2-in-1 with the XPS 13, one of the best laptops, if not the best laptops of 2019. They have a 2-in-1 now. You might want to probably check and do a comparison with that, but they've gone back to a solid, I think at CES, they just launched another Dell XPS, which sort of refines all the bezels, but we are talking about the Surface Pro. I'm sorry, I digress. It is a great device to have, runs smoothly. One more nitpick I need to pick on. The Surface Pro 7 has not better, but worse battery life than the Surface Pro 6. Don't shoot me just yet. So in the testings we've done, this thing claims it does, what, 10 hours? But in my testing, I've barely ever gotten more than 8 hours, compared to the 10 hours plus I was getting on the Pro 6. So 8 hours is decent time, don't get me wrong, but again, maybe something to do with software management with my unit. I don't know, we'll test it further, we'll let you know. But other than that, great device to have. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about the Surface Pro lineup in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.